Hey guys, FallMonk here. So, in this video, what I want to talk about is an actual D&D story. I haven't done one of these in a while, and I've been wanting to. So, to give a little backstory on me, my first ever D&D actual content creation was telling D&D stories on the D&D Green Tech subreddit. If you've never checked it out, really fun subreddit. It's basically telling all these ridiculous stories in kind of the green text format, and yeah, it was a fun time. I had a lot of interesting stories to tell on there, and I like the D&D stories because it makes you feel a little less alone in your insanity, and also just because D&D being as non-linear as it is, and having a lot of people that are crazy and together who can come up their own insane ideas and actually put them into a world and have some influence over it, a lot of insanity is bound to happen. So buckle up, and here's a little insight in what I get to deal with every week. And this was one of the games I run, and is a Dragon Heist campaign. And while I do enjoy homebrew more, I recommend it. Like, if you are creative and writing and all that, it's a lot of fun and rewarding to do actual homebrew games to me. Not the down running the actual book adventures. They're fun in their own right. It's just my personal preference. And while I'm putting the final touches on my next homebrew campaign, I thought I'd run everyone through Dragon Heist because it was highly recommended, and it's a short campaign, so I thought I could get it done pretty quick. We're about halfway done now, and a little bit into Dragon Heist. It's not a major spoiler. Well, it's not really a spoiler. It's just something that happens in the story. You get a tavern eventually, and it's really cool. And I like it. It gives the party an actual more than just an adventure investment in the story. They actually get to build a business together, which is really cool to me. And my party super got into that, and this was something I decided I was going to do from the beginning. There is a variant option of adding a rival, like a business rival, who opens a tavern right next to theirs. I did that, and oh boy. So this is what the story revolves around. So to set the scene, the party is 6 people. The 3 main players in this was my wife's character, the rogue halfling mastermind. The next was the tiefling monk. And third is the wizard. The other characters were kind of in the background of this and weren't really part of it. To make things even crazier, none of them really planned this. So there is also an Ozmar cleric, a bard, and a warforged fighter. All fun group. I really love them. It's one of my favorite groups I've run so far. But Lord, they can do some damage. And what happened was they got really into it, and 5 days before they were about to open their tavern, have the grand opening, the building next door instantly, like overnight, someone moved in and started getting ready to open a pub, and they started going nuts. And to clarify for anyone who knows Waterdeep, I came up with my own little NPC to do this with. Someone I kind of liked better. I didn't really care for the guy that was in the story. So, yeah. And the party was not having it. I just kind of had it like that everyone wakes up, they're in the middle of their routine, then all at once they somehow just are next to a window and look outside and see the sign put up for Peter's Wonderful Pub right next door. They were not happy, and instantly nearly all of them marched outside and were asking to do like, hey, you're opening a tavern next to ours. And essentially I had him just do like, I was just basically doing a mismatch of all these stupid voices of just like, it is good business. Why would you not want to be here? And I really wasn't trying to make fun of anything. It's just his entire character was, he was trying to pull himself as like this foreign cuisine and was doing a bunch of bad impressions the whole time. This was not me trying to make fun of really anything. It was just me just trying to make an overall incompetent idiot. And they didn't like it. So the rogue, my wife, blatantly told him, I will ruin your career if you open this bar. And he was just like, oh yeah, nah. Just brushing it off. But he went inside the tavern pretty quickly. And that's when everything started going into motion. So first thing was they found out he was a fake pretty quickly, where the wizard, unbeknownst to everyone else, sent his familiar where they were doing some construction to the roof. He sent his familiar around, found a hole in it, crawled inside the building, and actually listened and found out it was a fake accent. As he got inside, he's like, keep an eye on them, they're going to mess with our business. And that happened. And his familiar is a cat. So what he would have it do was the cat would get up on the bar, knock a glass over, then run out. And he did that a few times. He said he was going to do it every day until they opened. And he got to do it a few times. The second thing that happened, he actually relayed all this to the party. Then the tiefling did his own thing, where the reason I mentioned his tiefling, he has decent charisma because tiefling's charisma bonus. He went around town spreading a rumor that he was in line with the Zentarum Guild and was a safe house for them. Yeah, so that was the thing. And I rolled a percentile die to see if anyone from the Xanthar's Guild caught wind of it. And they did. So that was the thing. I made it like a 30% chance, so I had to roll percentile die over 70. Boom. They found out. Then my wife, not knowing what the tiefling is doing, they told me they were going to do this like before they even made their actions. They didn't plan this. That's what's crazy about it. My wife had the idea, since she's a mastermind rogue, she can mimic voices that she heard for a prolonged period of time, and she heard some Xanthar goons talking, so she knew how to mimic a bugbear accent. So she went around town, stealthing around, getting in the middle of conversations in seedy areas as a Xanthar Guild member, and talking about a new safe house for them in that tavern. I rolled percentile to see if any Zentarum got word of it. They did. And that's when everything came crashing down. So they were sleeping in the middle of the night, and I just thought about for a minute, like, how can I do this? Then I realized what the perfect thing would be to do, because in Waterdeep the setting, the Xanthar Guild and the Zentarum Guild are basically having brutal brawls in the street, killing each other in broad daylight. So I'm like, if they find out about a safe house, they're going to do something about it. That's what happened. So they all wake up in the middle of the night to just basically light burning outside at around midnight. And they look and they see the Zentarum and the Xanthar Guild members are in the streets, like two little squads of them, yelling at each other, cursing each other out, and threatening to burn the place down. And of course the parties... 3 of the parties are very confused. 2 of them have an inkling what's going on, but like, oh, that I didn't expect that to happen. And the Warforged knew it was coming because he was up all night, because they don't sleep, because that's a freaking thing. And yeah. So they were just told to burn the tavern down. They got confused, and they tried to burn both of them down just because the party came out and tried to stop them. So they all tried to throw their torches, and the Zentarum had alchemist fires and trying to burn down both the buildings. So it was both the parties trying to keep their buildings from getting destroyed while fighting off these people. And eventually the town guards came, because the town guard in Waterdeep is freaking scary and tough. Because any town guard that just has Griffin Riders common, that's... I don't want to mess with that, and I ain't breaking the rule in that town, nah. And they came, started taking them out, and instantly the party just all just went into action. Just where the pub owner comes out in the middle of the... Is like, what's going on outside of my shop? And the tiefling runs up to him and yells, "Peter, what have you done?" And he's freaking out, not sure what to do. And they had a little bit of familiarity with the guards, so they're just trying to figure out what's going on. And they convinced the guards that he was an actual Zentarum guild member, or there was something sketchy going on in the store. And they're just, there's like, "Oh, okay, we'll get a search warrant, we'll investigate his place when it's time." And the wizard who had gone all through his place found out that he was actually getting booze smuggled in. That's the only illegal thing he was doing. He wasn't getting booze from the Brewers Guild. He was getting it through someone else, through moonshiners. That was the only illegal thing he did. And while the wizard was scoping out his place, Familiar figured this out, and he said, "Okay, roll." I told him, okay. He told the guards what it was, and at that point, Peter just blown away, like, "How do you know that?" Then I'm like, "All right, roll persuasion to talk the guard into this." He rolled over a 20, and I'm like, the guard was like, "All right, that's probable cause. Get in there." And Peter's freaking out at this point as the guards just burst into his place. And while that's happening, my wife's character, the rogue, had stolen some paintings from the Zentarum warehouse. She goes in there, gets one of the stolen paintings, and she's a halfling, so I had her roll stealth disadvantage to carry a painting across a crowded street into the building and sneak it past the guards and hide it like it was actual stolen goods. With disadvantage rolled above a 20, you get as well. And as the guards are running off, the wizard's just like, "Oh, I believe his office is on the second floor. You should find everything in there." And Peter just turns to him in his actual normal voice for once, says, "You've ruined me." And the wizard's like, "I don't know what you're talking about, Peter." And he went to sleep. And yeah, the guard came out and said they found stolen painting, and that was it for Peter as he got hauled off into the night. And the bar was praised for helping stop a street fight that could have started a fire that could have consumed the whole neighborhood. Yeah, that was it. So, yeah, that's how the party canceled somebody. And yeah, Peter's never going to be able to work again. So that's the story. And if you had any other crazy encounters like that in Waterdeep, let me know in the comments. It's been a lot of fun so far, and if you get a chance to run as a DM, I recommend it. It's a lot of fun, and I think your players will enjoy it too. So without further ado, that is it. You want to hear any more D&D stories like this from me, let me know. I got some more that haven't even posted to Reddit that are pretty crazy or funny or just sad for me but funny for other people. So you want to hear them, let me know in the comments. Leave a like, all that fun stuff. Share this with your gaming group, and I'll see you next video. Bye, guys.